Hey guys, it's Liv here, and in today's video, we're going to be using a team built around Wo-Chien with Palafin and Parrish. If you guys enjoy and you want to see some more content like this, like and subscribe for more. And answer the comment question of the day, what are you most looking forward to using with Wo-Chien and why? My favorite partner is probably going to be Gothitelle. I think it's going to be an amazing partner for it. But let me know your guys' answers below. We're taking on a team today, first, consisting of Indeedee, Armarouge, Kingambit, Torkoal, Hatterene, and Annihilate. There's going to be no team builder today. I got this team from my good pal Clutch sometimes. And, you know, Clutch is a great builder, but I don't understand what half these spreads do. So I'm not going to try and, you know, go over the team with that in mind. Looking at this opponent's team, however, though, I think that realistically leading off with Palafin and Fluttermane is a pretty strong lead. I could potentially try and also lead off with Wo-Chien, actually. And Wo-Chien could make a good Terramon lead. And then I could bring in Garganacl as well. And then Mon number 4 might still be Gothitelle, though it could also be Fluttermane. I think I'm going to bring Fluttermane. Ideally, my goal here is going to be to try and... Do I need Arcanine for Kingambit? I mean, they might be Terra Fire anyway, but it might not be terrible to have it. I think I need it over... I think I actually need it over Wo-Chien. And then I think I'm going to bring... I'm going to bring Arcanine as a lead. Because I do need, I need Arcanine for 1 on lead to potentially burn Annihilate if that ends up leading. Because Annihilate on lead could be kind of scary. While it can be Terra Fire, I don't necessarily know that. So no reason to really play around until it's proven. But essentially going for the burn on that slot will be helpful for later on. On top of it as well, it's great for the Kingambit. They're going to lead off with dual Psy Spam here, that's fine. My guess is that they're going to probably end up going for Follow Me on Indeedee. And then going for Trick Room on Hat, because Hat obviously can't get Taunt Magic bounced. And Indeedee also is just good for like guaranteeing skits up. So that's perfectly fine. Indeedee will prove to be a Psychic Seed. Pretty common item, but still good to note. Okay. So let's see. So looking at my opponent's team, I think I definitely go into the Garganacl here. Garganacl should be, if nothing else, a really strong option to potentially wide guard Hatterene later on, which will be good. And then I'm going to proceed to go for a Snarl this turn. The Snarl will be useful for trying to drop the special attack from the Hatterene. Potentially Indeedee too, but most likely that one's probably gonna be like Helping Hand, Follow Me, Protect, and then Filler. If I had to guess, that Filler is probably some sort of offensive move, but I don't think it's one that we're really gonna see here. But it could still be useful for that. It's probably going to be a spread move, so I mean having Garganacl on the field as well for that will be useful. But I'm going to assume, regardless, that my best play will be bringing the Garganacl, because Garganacl should be able to apply a lot of pressure. Now, having Wo-Chien here could have been nice, actually, because I could have potentially went for the Wide Guard plus Wo-Chien and then gotten some good damage off, but it would have been a very slow burn type of game, and I don't know if I really need to play that one. So this Snarl's going to go off. That should be good to drop Hatterene special attack. It should help Garganacl as well with taking hits significantly more easily offensively. Meanwhile, the Hatterene is going to go for Trick Room. Okay, perfect. Exactly what we were anticipating. Okay. So, versus the Hatterene. Alright, so they're both -1, which is good information to have. I'm going to click the Wide Guard here. I'm going to assume that they're going to use Dazzling. No, why would they click Dazzling Beam, actually? I'm going to go for the Salt Cure here. I'm going to go for Salt Cure into Hatterene. And then I'm going to proceed to go for another Snarl. I think they're going to actually Psychic. Yep, Helping Hand does go off here. Perfectly fine. Okay. And they are going to go for a Psychic. Okay, that's fine. They go for it into Arcanine, actually. And they are Life Orb Hatterene. Good to note. We should be able to get off some good damage with this, if nothing else. And then we'll obviously also be dropping the Hatterene special attack once again with the Snarl, which will be more than helpful. I can go for Protect on both Pokemon, and then gain a little bit of health back on... Actually, I forget the item. It's Safety Goggles Arcanine, so I won't actually gain any health back. But that's still fine. I'm still more than okay with this. I'm going to proceed to go for a Protect here. And then I think I might actually just... I might just Flare Blitz in case they go for Garganacl. But I think I'm going to go... Yeah, I'm going to Flare Blitz in case they go for Garganacl. Arcanine essentially dies the next time that they attack anyway. And it's in range of Gleam even at this point. Now, I could go for Wide Guard here, but at the same time, there's no guarantee they would allow me to have that happen. They're going to go into Torkoal. Okay, good to know. So if they're targeting... Oh, oops. Yep. So if they're targeting my... let's see. my... Okay, sorry, I had to skip ahead. If they're targeting my Arcanine with Indeedee, that's fine. They're gonna go for Gleam here. Okay. Let's see. So, this should be... Oh, wow, that does nothing. The -2 really does help, I guess. This Flare Blitz will definitely take us ourselves out, though, which I'm okay with that. I can go for Wide Guard, actually, and wall out the Torkoal, and go for a Terrestrial Ghost, just in case. Now, Palafin will take a good amount from the Solar Beam, but I'm okay with that, actually. Essentially, though, I think that it's in my best interest to try and go for the Wide Guard here. And then Terra Ghost, because I do anticipate Torkoal to kill my Garganacl so I can Eruption Spam more easily. And I don't really need the Terra on either Palafin or Fluttermane. So I am going to go for the Wave Crash. I'm going to take out the Torkoal here. If they go for Follow Me, that's fine. I think they're going to go for Helping Hand Solar Beam, though, and try and just massacre my Garg. They're going to proceed to go for a Terra on Torkoal. That is going to be Terra Fire. Yep. Okay, so they're probably clicking Eruption here. Okay, perfectly fine. So they are going for the Eruption play. Definitely a bit more interesting. I didn't anticipate Eruption necessarily, but I'll more than happily welcome it. I really did think they would go for something like a Solar Beam, because I feel like the Wide Guard is a little bit telegraphed. But I'm still okay with that. It's still honestly fine. They've also burned the Terrestrial on Torkoal, which is good for me. They're going to go for a Helping Hand with Indeedee, perfectly okay. And then we're going to proceed to see Wide Guard pop, perfect, okay. So the question is, did they click some sort of solo target fire move, or are they clicking the expected Eruption play? They are going for Eruption, perfect. So this is great, actually. This really helps me out a lot. I can proceed to go for the Jet Punch here into the Torkoal. And at the Jet Punch, the Wave Crash into Torkoal, which should be more than enough to at least start weakening this thing. We barely have this thing living on HP, which is good to note. How many turns of Trick Room are left? I'm anticipating one. Yeah, one turn of Trick Room. Okay. So I'm going to proceed to just click Dual Protect here. I actually have zero reason not to, because I can, on the following turn, even just go for a Jet Punch. They're going to forfeit. Okay, even better. We'll take that. Game 1 goes to us, proving how we don't even actually need the Wo-Chiens. The Wo-Chien, it's a luxury, but it's not a necessity. So, you know, if you're nothing without Wo-Chien, you shouldn't be using it, etc., etc. We're going to proceed to get into game number 2, though. Peace out, guys. Okay, so getting into number 2, we're taking on a team consisting of King Gambit, Arcanine, Garchomp, Iron Valiant, Hippowdon, and Goldengo. If it wasn't for that Arcanine, I'd honestly assume they logged on to the doubles ladder without realizing they were singles. It's probably some sort of Sandville Chomp Hippowdon combination, which is honestly not too big of a deal. Wo-Chien should shit on this entire team. The one concern that I have with Wo-Chien would be the fact that I do need to pick between either walling Arcanine or walling the grounds, which Arcanine and Valiant, I should say, and walling grounds. I think I definitely do lead off with Wo-Chien and Palafin, though. I'm going to bring Arcanine in the... Actually, I lead off with Arcanine, Palafin. I bring Wo-Chien in the back. The reason being is that in case they do lead off with the grounds, I might need to go for Terra Water Arcanine, which should be fine here, actually. It's not too big of a deal. Final Mon, it's a tricky toss-up. I could actually bring really any of these. I think I'm going to bring the Fluttermane, though, just because, if nothing else, they have no form of speed control in this team, actually, outside of ICU and Valiant. And with my Fluttermane, of course, I can actually outpace that on the Guaranteed, which should make the Valiant matchup significantly more easy. So I will definitely take that. So we'll have to see. Good luck, have fun to my opponent, though, and we'll have to see what we can pull off here. So Hippowdon Goldengo is the lead. Hippowdon Goldengo is interesting, actually. I get the logic here. Hippowdon's obviously a strong way to pressure Arcanine. It can get some good yawn spinning off. I'm anticipating this will actually be the Terramon, weirdly enough. I don't think Hippowdon led without Garchomp if they were not planning on going for Terra this early on, which I'm okay with that, actually. I'm going to proceed to go for a switch into Wo-Chien, actually. Yeah, I just go hard Wo-Chien, because Wo-Chien should sponge all of these hits fairly well. And then I'm going to proceed to go for a Snarl here. Even if my opponent does to go for an Earthquake, I'm fine with that, in all honesty. There's no real reason for me to go for something such as a Terra Water. Now, if Garchomp led, I would kind of be forced to go for Terra Water, but I can thankfully preserve it, which could come into play later for an endgame with Valiant versus Wo-Chien. So that might actually be important. So thankfully, we don't have to burn the Terra. Goldengo should also get outpaced guaranteed unless it's a Scarf set, which means that I can get the Snarl drop on it before it attacks me, which is even more valuable. They're going to go for Trick, so they are Choice Scarf, good to know. At safety goggles, which is probably like the most useless item this thing could be having. It's a steel type Pokemon, so it's not really getting hurt by the sand. On top of that as well, they're also not really affected by spore or powder moves to begin with. So like, does it really matter? Okay, this is definitely a singles team with an Argon on it. I'm fine with that though. I'm fine with that. Okay. So, we'll definitely take that. Now, as far as my play this turn, I think Wo-Chien just sits on this. I will say the unranked battle spot ladder is kind of built different. It's built so different. I'm gonna go for Leech Seed and Hippowdon. I am anticipating it to swap here now that rocks have gotten up, and that's the one reason I guess it could have led. Oh, right, I have to click Snarl. Okay, well, I'm fine with clicking Snarl still, to be honest. Dropping Goldengo's special attack only helps Wo-Chien walling it even more, and it takes out one of the potential breakers they could have had. Now, that might be a Nasty Plot Goldengo, which is something to keep in mind, but if it's Nasty Plot, I'm still at least dropping it a little bit, and I should hopefully delay the inevitable turn where it might sweep me. I can go for Knockoff as well, or just go for Leech. No, I can't go for Leech Seed, actually. But that's still fine. The Snarls are doing plenty, actually. And the fact that I'm getting off this good damage reduction here should be more than enough. Now, we're going to see Thunder Wave go off from Goldengo, which, again, I'm honestly fine with. If this is really going to click Thunder Wave as it means, I'm also okay with this, actually. So, Leech Seed is going to go off. I'm going to at least have a really strong way of recovery at this point. They're going to click Whirlwind, which I'm okay with that. Whirlwind is more than acceptable here. Okay. So, what is my opponent going to bring in here? I hope it's Palafin. Palafin will be great. Palafin comes in perfect. Okay. So Palafin's essentially a nuke button now. My opponent's Leech Seeded as well, which is going to go into the Palafin spot, which should help with taking the rocks this turn. I can honestly just keep going for Snarl because my opponent's choosing to go for status options. I might just take out Goldengo, to be honest. Hippowdon's not really going to be a threat to my team. So yeah, I'm going to just take out the Goldengo. I'm going to clear it off the field, because this could actually become a little bit scary. Specifically, by going for the Thunder Wave spam, it could be a little annoying, as that does open up potential for Valiant and Garchomp to do some damage, as they didn't really have speed control otherwise. So Arcanine should pick this off with Snarl, which is great. Goldengo is now officially cleared. Hippowdon's best way of actually doing damage to us is probably Whirlwinding and out Pokemon and making us take rocks later on, which is a strat that in theory could actually get some good damage. They're going to proceed to go for Yawn and Hippowdon. Alright. If they have Dual Protect on their slots, which I don't know why they wouldn't Hippowdon, so I'm going to target Hippowdon and just massacre it, bring them down to 2, stop the Whirlwind redirection, allow Wo-Chien a better time, and then be set. So, no matter what comes in here, I think I'm just going to Wave Crash the Hippowdon. I think that'll be my safest play. The reason being is that I don't think that they're mono no attacks with Yawn, Whirlwind, Stealth Rocks, and Protect on Hippowdon. That feels like it's not a thing that would come. I think their last move is Earthquake, because I do think this is a singles Hippowdon. Specifically a Battle Stadium singles Hippowdon, because an OU Hippowdon would have probably run Slack Off. They're going to have King Gambit. Okay, this is fine. Yeah, I'm going to proceed to go for the Wave Crash here, and I'm going to go for a Will-O-Wisp into... Oh, right, I have to click Snarl. Okay, well, then I actually really should switch out Arcanine in case of Defiant. I'm going to proceed to bring in the Wo-Chien at this point. That should drop attack from King Gambit, which will be more than appreciated. The fact that we'll be able to weaken both these Pokemon offensively actually will be huge. Now, Wo-Chien could be a little bit scary. King Gambit could be a little scary, but I'm not too terrified of it. Thankfully as well, Tablets of Ruin does not affect King Gambit, which is going to be very appreciated here, actually. It's a great way to get some good damage. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to kill this Mon. We're going to kill the Hippowdon. Beautiful. Okay. So Hippowdon's gone. Now, I will say that there is a little bit of a terrifying situation here. It's really only, in my opinion, if Valiant comes. Specifically, if Valiant predicts right. However, thankfully, I preserved my Terra this whole time. And by clearing out the Hippowdon, I can essentially decide if I want to Terra Wo-Chien at all or not. And it's going to determine based on if Arcanine or Valiant come in that last spot. If it's Garchomp, I never Terra. Valiant comes in. Okay, so I do actually think that Terraing would be my best play here. Essentially, what I can manage to do, they are going to also be boost your energy. It's probably speed. Yep, speed. Okay. So that's okay by me. I'm going to Jet Punch the Valiant, and I'm going to go for the Terra Poison here. Terra Poison will allow me a really strong Leech Seed turn into the King Gambit spot, as that is bulkier and it's a little harder for my team to KO. So by getting this Leech Seed turn off, they're probably going to go for something like a Terra, probably Terra Fairy if I had to guess. I'm not too sure, but I'm going to guess Fairy. Maybe Fighting. They are going to be Terra Fairy. Good to know. Okay. So, this should be fine. They're going to probably go for... If I had to guess, they're going to probably just go for Moonblast. Though Dazzling Gleam is also a viable option. I accidentally almost wrote viable on my thing. Oh, man. That would have been something at the very least. So, we're gonna just get the Leech Seed off into King Gambit here. Thankfully, it can't go for another Protect, which is also very appreciated. I'm anticipating Gleam, though they're gonna go for Spirit Break, actually, so they're physical. Which means that Wo-Chien sponges this even more, especially with the poison, obviously. But another benefit, if I remember correctly, I don't think this thing gets a physical Psychic move. I know it gets Psychic, like raw Psychic, which I'm okay with that. But does Valiant actually get a special move? Iron, Valiant, Psychic. It does get Psycho Cut. Okay, Psycho Cut is interesting for sure. Okay, I'm fine with that. So, let's see. This Leech Seed will be good. At the very least, King Gambit's going to be able to keep us plenty healthy on Wo-Chien, though it wasn't a concern to begin with, in all honesty. Their team doesn't have great ways to break it at this point. I'm going to Jet Punch the Valiant in case of the fact I wake up. However, as a nice safety net, I'm going to Leech Seed the Valiant in case if they have Psycho Cut. I should be pretty set to win at this point. I can't imagine that they're actually going to put pressure on Wo-Chien, even with the Psycho Cut if they have it. They're still gonna have to worry about my attack being too threatening. Spirit Break will go off. That's pretty okay. Palafin will die in return. But Wo-Chien's gonna get some pretty nice sustain. They actually can't viably take care of this. Okay, so they're gonna go for Iron Head. That's okay. They were probably trying to flinch me, which makes sense actually, because by not going for the flinch, they would, well, if they did go for the flinch tier, they could have stalled out another turn that I could have maybe gotten to Leech Seed Valiant, which makes sense. Again, all these plays make sense. It's just, they're playing such an unorthodox team that it puts them on the back foot, even though they're actually making all the plays that they should, knowing the sets that they have. Specifically the Goldango and Hippowdon. Hippowdon maybe didn't have to come, but I can get the logic. Regardless, though, we're going to bring in Fluttermane here. And my play is always just to click Perish Song, actually. By going for Perish Song, I can guarantee the game will end in 3 turns. And I have enough pieces to where I'm fine just stalling through them. Now, I'm going to click... I think I'm going to click Giga Drain into the Valiant. Actually, no. I'm going to just Moonblast the Valiant. I don't really need to worry. No, I'm going to Moonblast King Gambit here. I don't really need to worry, though, either way. I'm going to proceed to go for a Giga Drain into the Valiant as well. Now, I don't think they have a strong way of actually really breaking me, and thankfully with this Tablets of Ruin, we're going to be able to take these hits significantly more easily. For example, if Wo-Chien was not on the field, we would have died to that, which is kind of crazy to think about, because, you know, thinking through this, it seems like, in my opinion, we have a fairly good uphill position to win this game, but we could have actually lost the game if not for Wo-Chien. So this one is kind of just built different. With how good physical attackers, this thing is a really good Terra pick. This Terra Poison is so nice for the opposing Fairy types, so it would break it, as well as for fighting types. Now, I'm going to proceed to go for a Protect on Fluttermane. Meanwhile, I'm going to go for another Giga Drain into Valiant. Valiant's the one I'm a little bit more concerned with right now, just because it has slightly more health. And also the fact that the Valiant having Shadow Sneak priority is a little bit terrifying. It's not too big of a deal, but I am going to anticipate as well this will have something like a close combat later on. And I can actually guarantee take out King Gambit before it becomes a threat. So I'm actually not too concerned with this. Now they're going to kowtow. I'm fine with that. Between the Giga Drain as well as the Leech Seeds, we'll be pretty set as far as just taking out both Pokemon here. Valiant should die, not this turn, but on the following turn, which is very, very amazing for me. I'm going to proceed to switch. I think I'm going to switch out. No, I'm not going to switch out. There's no reason to switch out, actually, because I could actually put Wo-Chien in danger by doing so. So instead, what I'm going to do, I'm going to let Fluttermane go down here and click the Moonblast into King Gambit. Meanwhile, I'm going to Giga Drain the King Gambit as well, and essentially just try and take this thing out. The Iron Valiant definitely dies this turn. I think King Gambit might after a Giga Drain, but if they click Protect, then they also lose it. Essentially, though, King Gambit should be dead in 2 turns, guaranteed, and Valiant should be dead on the end of this turn, guaranteed. They don't seem to have a way to actually damage Wo-Chien with viable options like Psycho Cut. But if they do a Psycho Cut, I don't think it even KOs with seeing how little damage they've done overall this game. They're going to proceed to go for Spirit Break. That's fine. Despite the fact that this will drop stats, it's not really a concern for me at all. because Wo-Chien just needs to exist. They've already lost the game guaranteed because they cannot break this Pokemon sufficiently. They're in Leech Seed range, and Wo-Chien does seem to clean up, which really fucking great. This Mon is proving to, of course, be a nightmare defensively, and if you're willing to play the long term, this is honestly a really big threat to a lot of teams, in my opinion. So, Wo-Chien proceeding to clean house in game number 2. Let's see if we can get Wo-Chien another win in game number 3. I'm very, very hopeful, to be honest. I think that Wo-Chien can definitely manage to do it. I'm going to try and stall a little bit more for time while, of course, the last of this end sequence finishes up. But, yeah, essentially this should be... Like, King Gambit's just going to drop here. There's nothing I need to actually make happen. They're going to lose King Gambit. Beautiful. Okay, so that's game number 2. Let's see you guys in game number 3. Peace out, guys. Okay, moving on to our final team. We're taking on a team consisting of Toxicroak, Tinkaton, Pelipper, Serena, Kilowattrel, and Skeledirge. Okay. So definitely not the best team, but it should be, you know what? We at least got a pretty strong team in earlier in the set. And on top of that as well, we still managed to get at least managed to get a pretty kind of, like, I can get the purpose of this team. It's just a lot of weaker mons. It's definitely a strong rain build. That's probably a Terra Skeledirge, for example, and it's meant to handle opposing grasses in tandem with the, actually, that's the thing. It's probably meant to be more so a Tailwind team. Maybe meant to just avoid different archetypes like Trick Room with Skeledirge, for example, or Kilowattrel obviously can benefit from rain. I'm going to bring Palafin for sure, despite the fact that obviously they, actually, I don't need Palafin, no. I'm going to bring Arcanine Fluttermane on lead. I think that'll be my strongest option. We're going to bring Wo-Chien. I think that could be a good Terra pick. And then Garganacl, I think, will be my last one. Garganacl is mostly just to Salt Cure a bunch of stuff. They have a few things that are going to be fairly weak to it. And besides Toxicroak and Tinkaton, nothing really pressures it well. But that's also considering that I don't Terra. If I do Terra, then nothing on their team besides Skeledirge really handles it. And I can pressure Skeledirge pretty well, actually. In fact, that might have been a reason enough to bring Palafin for what it's worth. But I think I'll still be okay, actually, with that in mind. So, good luck, have fun to my opponent. And yeah. So, Kilowattrel Skeledirge do lead. That's fine. We did not see competitive on Kilowattrel, which means it is Volt Absorb. Or it's either Volt Absorb or it's going to be Wind Rider, which I'm okay with that. I'm going to proceed to go for a Snarl here. That should help weaken the Skeledirge, and the fact that Kilowattrel is not competitive is huge. That'll also potentially break any sort of Focus Sash that I might have. And then I think for my other move, I kind of want to just go for a Shadow Ball into Skeledirge. This should hopefully put a lot more pressure on it, because that's the mon I'm a lot more scared of here, to be honest. It's the one thing that could pressure a Terra Garganacl, so I'd rather just take it out. We are going to get a pretty strong Shadow Ball, and thankfully they do not Terra. Snarl might pick this off, but I don't... Oh, no, it's definitely going to be it's Citrus, okay. Unfortunate. Okay, oh, it's Wikiberry. Oh, Wikiberry is actually a lot more terrifying. Still okay, though, because my Fluttermane should definitely still outpace the Skeledirge. And really, it's only the Kilowattrel I actually have to fear. Though, thankfully, we'll be able to drop the offenses on that, which should be valuable. I think I'm going to have to protect on Fluttermane this turn and then go for Flare Blitz into Kilowattrel, just to try and take it out. That should be a pretty good play. I anticipate they're going to go for most likely a Thunderbolt or maybe a Discharge even, which I'm okay with that. The Skeledirge having Shadow Ball is good to note. And then Kilowattrel has Tailwind, which is also good to note. So, yeah, I'm going to hope that I can take out the Kilowattrel. They're going to switch out anyway, which is good to note. They're going to bring in Pelipper. Okay, so Pelipper is actually a little bit scary. This opens up a lot for them, unironically. And that could make this game a little bit more difficult. Fluttermane could still be threatening, but obviously the fact that they do have Kilowattrel being able to Thunder Spam is a little bit annoying. Maybe we could take out Kilowattrel. I don't think we will. This Rain Weakening Flare Blitz, I don't think it's going to do a lot. Yeah, it does about half. That actually could be something. So, I think what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go for a Flare Blitz. And I'm going to go for a Moonblast. Essentially, my goal here will be to try and just get off whatever damage I can. They're going to actually take... Oh, they're not even going to take out Fluttermane. Okay, I'm really glad that I got the Snarl off. Though that para is going to be a pain in the ass, because I think Pelipper outpaces me now. Pelipper is going to Hydro Pump my Arcanine here, which is going to die. That's a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. Okay. So, Moonblast. This should do some good damage. Yeah, it's okay. It's not great, but we got the special attack drop, which is decent. I think I need to bring in the... Wo-Chien. and I need to go for a Terra here. Essentially, my play is going to be for Terraing, then going for Leech Seed, while going for Protect on Fluttermane. Which is unfortunate because I could have actually gotten a lot of use out of the Terra on Garganacl, but I no longer think I can afford to do so. So I'm going to proceed to Leech Seed the Pelipper, and I'm going to go for a Protect on Fluttermane. I assume they're going to click Hurricane. One will probably click it in Wo-Chien, the other one probably will not, which I'm okay with that. Yeah, unironically, it's definitely, like, objectively speaking, it has the least to offer as far as general format goes, but it's a team that's giving me the most problems, which is, it's something to say for sure. Speaks a lot on just the fact that you really can make any Pokemon work if you really want to, which really just overall pretty hysterical. Air Slash. Okay, Air Slash might be more annoying even, if I'm going to be honest. Thankfully, neither of these Pokemon are doing much damage, especially with the special attack drops. Wo-Chien might be able to pull it back, which is amazing. They don't have great coverage for it either, which is huge. Let's see. Okay. So, they have Hurricane for sure, and they have Hydro. Oh, alright. So yeah, I think I need to just go for the, I need to go for the Leech Seed into Kilowattrel. I need to start getting sustain off of that. Hopefully they just end up, oh, thank God, their Tailwind wore off. Good to know. Fluttermane maybe will outpace, but I don't think it will. I'm going to kill the Kilowattrel just in case. But again, I don't think it'll matter. I think realistically what's going to happen here is Tailwind's going to go off. Then Fluttermane will die to the Pelipper, which makes sense. I think that's what's going to happen. I'm okay with that. I think I've kind of accepted that'll happen. But in return for this, though, but my opponent doing that, this does obviously mean that that I can get some more sustain with Wo-Chien. And then Wo-Chien will be a lot more difficult for them to KO here. Now, I should probably take out the Pelipper. Pelipper is going to be a lot more threatening to my Garganacl than Kilowattrel will be. We've seen Kilowattrel has at least Thunder, Tailwind, and Air Slash. None of those are going to be really that big of a deal. And then I can Giga Drain the Pelipper, and I think that plus the Giga Drain plus the Leech Seed will be enough to take it out. Or at the very least, put it on more of a timer, which should be valuable. Yeah, it's pretty weak. I think we can, let me see what'll do more damage. No, Giga Drain will definitely do more damage. What am I saying? Yeah, we're gonna go for Giga Drain, and I'm gonna go for a Protect here. I think if Pelipper lives, I think on the following turn, I need to just go for a double Protect. Wo-Chien might unironically be able to clean this 1v4, which says a lot about how good this Pokemon is. They're gonna proceed to go for a swap here, which I'm okay with that. Skeletors comes in. Skeletors isn't too big of a deal, actually. Thankfully, we ended up going for the Terra on Wo-Chien and not Garganacl, because that could have actually been pretty terrifying. They're going to proceed to go for Thunder into the Garganacl, which I'm okay with that. And then, meanwhile, the Skeletor gets Giga Drained here, which is definitely appreciated at least. I think I'm just going to go for a knockoff into that spot, as the Kilowattrel should take some good damage here. I could even go for a Salt Cure potentially, which might open up the doors to outpace their team later on. Yeah, I'm going to go for a knockoff into Skelly. And then I'm going to go for a Salt Cure into Kilowattrel. Neither of these Pokemon should put pressure on either of mine. I think they both also just die this turn, which is useful. Now, I'm curious on what that lost slot is. I'm going to anticipate it's probably going to be Toxicroak, though Tinkaton might have some merit. Garganacl takes that hit like a champ. Beautiful. Torch Song and Skeletor also going to be chewed like a champ. Beautiful. Garganacl still will be terrified of Pelipper, though. Pelipper will be a huge threat, actually, to my team. Thankfully, though, the Pelipper will have to worry about the fact that Wo-Chien can Leech Seed up, and then the fact that they also might not have Tailwind up long enough to outpace my Wo-Chien. Though the Pelipper could also just be invested, which is another discussion to be had. Okay, this is still not a huge deal, though. Still not a huge deal at all. What's the fourth mon going to be? Serena. Okay, Serena is a little bit terrifying, actually. Serena can pose a lot of issues for this core, actually. Considering, one, I can't Leech Seed it, which means that I might lose out on some sustain. Thankfully, it can't really touch me back either, though, which is good. I'm going to proceed to go for a Leech Seed here, and then I'm going to go for a Protect. I'm curious on which of these two they're going to Terra, if they're going to Terra anything. I think it's going to be Pelipper, but it could be Serena as well. Let's see. So it's going to be Serena. All right, what type are they going to Terra into? Terra Ground. So this actually works out great for me, because they've now given me a Leech Seed target. Though on the flip side, if they have Terra Blast, that's actually pretty bad for me. Now, obviously, Tablets of Ruin will drop the physical attack, but I'm not sure if that will be enough even. So we'll have to see. They do have Terra Blast. They're going to go for it into Wo-Chien. A little bit scary, I can't lie. How well do we take this? Ooh, oh, that's not good. They're going to Hydro Pump into Wo-Chien as well. Ooh, that's also not good. That's really not good. Okay. So, I hear you. I hear you, Pelipper. They might have gotten me there. That might have actually cost me the game. I think if I Salt Cured the Pelipper and then proceeded to Giga Drain, well, yeah, go for like a knockoff into Serena, that might have been a thing. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So Tailwind did peter out. That's good for me. Now, I guess the million-dollar question is, will Wo-Chien outpace them? Because I definitely need... So Wo-Chien thankfully has some speed investment here. That's a no-speed Serena. We might even outpace that. I'm going to proceed to go for the Giga Drain into the Serena, and I kind of need a Hail Mary here. I'm going to Salt Cure the Pelipper as well, just in case. They're going to Terra Blast. That's fine. I kind of hope they Terra Blast into the Garganacl. They do not. Okay. So, that's a little bit rough. I need them to miss a Hydro Pump, essentially, is what I need. If they miss a Hydro Pump, I could maybe win this, but it's not going to be pretty. Truthfully, I would need a lot to go in my favor, but I could actually win this. Okay. So, thankfully, they did allow me to, well, the game allowed me to kill the Pelipper. Perfect. Alright. So, it's just Serena left. This Terra Ground, terrifying Serena. Now, I need to go for a recover this turn. I need to hope that they can't really damage me that well. Perfect. They let me recover. That's pretty good for me. Now, I need to go for Salt Cure here. And I could, in theory, stall this out. I'd have enough recovers to do so. The question is how much damage will this thing do to me? Between Recover and Salt Cure, I might manage. Oh my god, that did way too much. That did way too much damage. No, I do not. I do not win, because they could even just Terra Blast me, actually. And that would be game. They don't even have to risk either, which is bad. That's really bad. I'm gonna hope they get cocky. I'm gonna hope they get cocky. So essentially, if they miss a Power Whip here, which, nope, they don't even miss a Power Whip. Okay, I kind of had to hope that they would miss a Power Whip. Damn, good game. I'm kind of glad that we ended off on this, because it's a nice way to show that even unconventional shit can still win. Very good team, to be honest. Was a lot better than I would have given it credit for. Definitely better than game number 2's team, for sure. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this match, and if you did and you want to see more content like this, leave a like below and subscribe for more content like this. Shout out to channel members, of course, being Josh K Ultra Player, Mia, Zeke Zero, Matter Shay. We also have BBat. And then we have 2 new channel members, of course. Well, one channel member actually I did mention in the last one, which was Anna Duper. We also have Timo Mueller. I think I butchered that. I'm so sorry, Timo. But thank you guys so much for your support of the channel. And if you want to join channel members, just a couple dollars a month to get some bonus content on Saturdays. And we'll see you guys then. Otherwise, peace out, guys.